Audio Jungle.
Prince Andrew's grip on his royal titles could come under pressure when Queen Elizabeth II dies and his brother takes the throne, a biographer tells. The Duke of York, famously the monarch's favourite son, has been allowed to keep hold of his honorary role as Colonel-in-Chief of British Army Regiment, the Grenadier Guards. A Buckingham Palace spokesperson told Newsweek the title was in abeyance. However, Prince Harry lost his military titles, including Captain General of the Royal Marines. The Grenadier Guards want to see a different royal appointed to the position in the wake of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, but the Queen let it be known she did not want Andrew stripped of the role. Nigel Cawthorne, author of Prince Andrew, Epstein, Maxwell and the Palace, told that Prince Charles could take a different view. He said, "If Prince Charles does make it to the throne, there's traditionally some antagonism between Prince Charles and Andrew because when Charles was down in the polls during the whole Diana catastrophe, Andrew was planning a palace coup where he would take over as regent until William was old enough to take the throne." The author described in his book how Charles believed Andrew had Edward's backing to announce a regency at the point the Queen died. The prince believed Andrew and wife Sarah Ferguson had hatched the plan with Princess Diana, who also spoke of wanting William to be king ahead of Charles. Cawthorne added, "The longer this Epstein scandal runs on, the further Andrew is going to be tainted whether he cooperates or not. Even as king, I don't think Charles would have the power to force him to speak to the FBI. That's the government's job. He could persuade Andrew to give up his HRH, etc., as with Harry and Meghan." Tensions between the brothers were also triggered in the 1990s by Prince Charles' desire to slim down the monarchy, excluding family members not in the direct line. Historian Robert Lacey wrote in Battle of Brothers, a biography about Harry and William, how Charles wanted Andrew to lose his role as part of plans to slim down the monarchy even then, years before the Epstein scandal. The book states, Charles felt that his brothers Andrew and Edward should step back as part of the slimming process. The Prince of Wales pursued his theme hard, with Andrew resisting fiercely on behalf of Edward and himself, and particularly his own daughters Beatrice and Eugenie, 8 and 6 in 1996. He added, "Andrew was the Queen's favourite son, that was the bottom line. Everyone in the family knew it." Elizabeth II had always been uncomfortable with the cerebral and sensitive Charles, forever debating the whys and the wherefores. Charles was unsuccessful at excluding Andrew in the 1990s, but the Duke of York was forced to quit public life after a car crash BBC interview in 2019. Now he is being sued in New York by Virginia Giuffre, who says she was forced to have sex with Andrew by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Richard Eden, the Daily Mail's diary editor, echoed Cawthorne's comments in a recent edition of his Palace Confidential podcast. He said, "I suspect he, Charles, would be harder than the Queen. We've already seen Andrew step back from all his royal duties, and I think he would be stripped of them. I think that probably will happen eventually, but it will just happen much more slowly because the Queen is our monarch." A Buckingham Palace spokesperson told, "The Grenadiers and all the Duke's military appointments are in abeyance after he stepped back from royal duties for the foreseeable future in November 2019. This remains the situation." Another news, Prince Harry not financially cut off. In a Sweary podcast chat, Prince Harry described royal life as a mixture of the Truman Show film and being in a zoo. The royal also revealed he wanted to quit royal duty when he was in his 20s, saying, "I didn't want this job." The Duke opened up about his mental health struggles in a brutally frank, and profanity-laden, chat with U.S. podcast host Dax Shepard. But it later emerged that Prince Harry got a substantial sum from the Bank of Dad after Megxit, despite his claims he was cut off financially. Charles's annual report, released by Clarence House in June, shows he gave the Sussexes and Cambridges a share of £4.45 million. Palace sources refused to reveal the exact amount given to Harry, which covered the first 4 months of their transition period. And the report said he will get no more handouts from his father.